in 2025, I set a goal for myself to commit to one new hobby every single month and fully immerse myself in this hobby. So it's almost March, and I've been having so much fun that I decided to start documenting this journey and bringing you guys along. So maybe you can learn something about each hobby and discover something new for yourself, or just be inspired and enjoy the ride with me. So I'm going to break down what the reasoning was for this and some ideas that you can get for your list if you decide that you want to do the same, because there's no better time to start than now. You don't have to wait until January 1st to start a new goal like this. So we're going to get into it first with the why. So the reason why I decided to set this goal was because the creative side of my brain has been shut off for years now. I believe it probably shut off after I decided to retire from the beauty industry. I was a hair and makeup artist for about 15 years, and I got burnt out and just sick of it. So ever since I stopped doing that, I haven't really been into anything that requires creativity. So this means that all hobbies that I've had before that were creative hobbies, I no longer have interest in. So to keep myself busy and to, entertain myself, I have been immersing myself in more left brain activities like learning a new language, reading a lot of books, things that have really still been stimulating me, but not stimulating the creative side of my brain. So I want to tap back into my creative self and maybe discover something new about myself along the way. So that's why I decided to do this challenge for myself. And I saw a couple of videos that talked about how to be successful, there are 5 hobbies that you need to have. I don't necessarily believe that you have to have these 5 hobbies to be successful, but I'm going to read them and maybe it'll inspire you to come up with something for yourself for all 5. So I have my handy dandy notes and let's jump right into it. So hobby number 1 is a hobby that makes you money. That's number 1. Number 2, a hobby that's good for your health. Number 3, a hobby that gets your ideas flowing. Number 4 is a hobby to expand your knowledge. And number 5 is a hobby for your mindset or your mental health. So I already have number 1, makes money, is martial arts. I started working at my martial arts studio. That was a really, really important hobby for me to start when I first moved here to LA. I was so excited to start learning martial arts, and I had no idea that it would turn into me working at the dojo part-time, and I love it. For number 2 is weightlifting. I have tried other things like yoga and Pilates, and they were super fun, and maybe one day I will fully commit to those, but I am enjoying getting back into the gym finally and doing weightlifting again. Number 3 gets the ideas flowing. This is the one that's empty for me. This is the one that we're trying to fill. I wrote down just ideas like an instrument, crochet, embroidering, pottery. I'll give you a more complete list of ideas for yourself in a minute. Number 4, to expand my knowledge, I have learning a language. I'm still learning Mandarin and Spanish, and books. I'm still enjoying books, both fiction and nonfiction. I read both. I listen to nonfiction while I'm driving, and I read fiction books when I have free time, usually before bed. For mindset, I have meditate and journaling. I could probably come up with something better than those, but those are good for now. So if you don't have any hobbies for this list for yourself of the 5, then maybe make a list like I did. And this is what that looks like, just simple. That way you can put ideas in there and then maybe circle the ones that you think will fit best. Or maybe when you start writing this out, you'll realize that you already have some of these 5 hobbies filled. Now, as far as hobbies that I want to try, and I have to come up with 12 because there's 12 months in a year, I thought that was going to be easy, but there's so many that I want to try, and I wrote them down and put them in a month, but I'm still missing 3 months. So we'll get to that in a second. I'm just going to rapid fire some ideas for you. Punch needling, dance class, jewelry making, clay, instrument, crochet, sewing, diamond paint art, creative writing, embroidery, paint by numbers, and hobbies that I had as a kid that I enjoyed, that I might try again just to kind of, interact with my inner child and see if it brings up some joy to my inner child, is drawing, billiards or pool. I used to try to learn trick shots because I was really bored when I was the last kid to be picked up at the youth center after school, like the after school program. So I got really good at pool and I was learning trick shots. I don't think that'll be possible now, but you never know. Dancing, guitar, cheer, stunts. Not gonna do that, but maybe gymnastics in that place. Story writing and singing. So those are possibilities as well. I wouldn't say gymnastics is a creative hobby, but I just wrote down things that my inner child would probably enjoy, the nostalgia or something. So let's get into my list, and you can come up with your own list. I would love to hear about it. Leave your list in the comments below, or in the comments, tell me which of these hobbies you are most interested in seeing me document about. I would love to know what sounds the most interesting to you. So for January, I have crochet, February, drawing, March, clay, April, painting, May, jewelry making, June, punch needling, July, saxophone, August, embroidery, September, knitting. October, November, and December are open right now. So I'm gonna leave them open for a few months and see if something comes up that really intrigues me, so then I can fill those. Otherwise, I will go back to my list or do a little bit more research, see if I can find something to add there, or maybe go back to things that I enjoyed the most in the beginning of, my time. Like crochet, I had such a great time learning how to crochet that maybe by October I decide to go back to crocheting. We'll see. I'm just gonna leave it for now. But if I missed anything that you feel I absolutely need to try for creativity, please let me know. I might add it to my last 3 months if you highly, highly recommend it. So that's all for now. I just wanted to give you guys an introduction, tell you why I'm doing this journey, and invite you to either do the same or to just enjoy the ride. I'm going to be documenting each hobby each month and tell you what materials I'm using or who on YouTube I'm learning from, or whatever I'm doing, so that if you decide that you want to be a beginner in this hobby or craft, then you might have somewhere to start yourself, since we'll be, beginners together. So stay along for the journey, and hopefully you have a great time coming up with hobbies for yourself. So I will see you in the next video, and enjoy this series.